This episode is brought to you by NBA on Prime. This Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern, it's the Emirates NBA Cup Championship game on Prime. This year's quest for the Cup has been building to this, the championship game, live from Las Vegas. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to get started today. The Emirates NBA Cup Championship game, this Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern, only on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
There's a reason Chevy trucks are known for their dependability, because they show up no matter the weather, push forward no matter the terrain, and deliver. That's why Chevrolet has earned more dependability awards for trucks than any other brand in 2025, according to J.D. Power. Because in every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard. Visit Chevy.com to learn more. Chevrolet received the highest total number of awards among all the trucks in the J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Study. Awards based on 2022 models. Newer models may be shown. Visit JDPower.com/awards for more details. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Dan is still in New York. We're here in Miami.
It's cold here.
It is a little bit cold here. I walked out. It was a little nipply, right?
Is it nipply?
Yeah,
or
it's
nippy?
Nipply? I say nipply.
It's both.
Nippy.
Yeah.
It's a little nipply.
It's not both.
I've never heard somebody say it's a little nipply
Well,
outside.
I have.
I have heard someone say it's nipply outside, but not about the weather.
Hey.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, I woke up feeling good today.
Yeah?
I don't know if you guys are aware. It seems like the Florida Panthers might be back, baby. Come on now.
We're clawing back.
Come on now.
Turn that corner. I think I figured this whole thing out with the Florida Panthers.
Go on.
As they can be a certain level of hurt, but once they pass that threshold of hurt and get even more hurt, then they seem to struggle.
So they were, for a little bit here, they were over that threshold, you're saying.
That's right. But now you have Verhaeghe back. You have Luosterainen back. All of a sudden, Sam Bennett finds his form.
You got the defenseman scoring some goals. God forbid.
Seth Jones. Cats are clawing back.
Seth Jones, my dog. I don't know if you know about that.
Roy, get the table.
Yeah. I think I figured it out.
How many points back are we?
I don't know. I got the table.
I think they're 3 back of third and like 4 back in the division. But
they have games in hand.
Games in hand.
I love games in hand.
I think I figured it out. More of the players need to have babies. Carter Verhaeghe, he's on that baby bump right now.
Get after it,
You know
guys.
what they say about a game in hand?
We're two in the bush?
That's exactly what they say.
Look at me, hockey guy.
When's Kachuk coming back?
Should be in about a week or two.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
He's my favorite. I like that guy.
Oh, yes. What a great guy. All right. It's all coming together, boys.
That's pretty much the only story people were talking about in sports yesterday.
It was a big one. Yeah. Look, if you go into Salt Lake City and you take out the Mammoth.
Is that a real team?
Yes, it's a real team.
The Utah Mammoth? There's no way.
Yes.
That's fake. You guys are messing with me. Seriously. Come on.
Just one? Is it just one
It's
mammoth?
just one mammoth.
Definitely nothing else going on in sports yesterday.
No.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Zaslow taketh away and Zaslow giveth, because I was about to ask Amin and I was about to ask Tony and Pablo to give me the nickname of the Utah hockey team, and he took it away from me right at the end of the Shadow Show, but he did give me, and I like this trade, Nippy or Nipply, because I do like that 63 degrees in Miami is nipply, as I freeze off my frozen diamond nipples here where it's 20 degrees, but also worry about the Cleveland-Chicago Bears game this weekend where it's going to be negative 20 degrees. That seems like the most awful way to ever play football. Minus 20 degrees, I would cancel the game. That's unfair to human beings. That is wrong to human beings. Peanut Tillman, who is no coward, said he once played on a Chicago field, ran out on the field and said, I don't want to play today. I'd like to go back into the locker room. Football is not something I'd like to do today. Yes, Amin?
Dan, I don't mind them playing in that weather, but I do mind having to go watch them play in that weather. What about all those people just sitting there freezing their ass off? At least the football players have adrenaline. They're running around. They're scared. They're excited. They've got all these emotions going on.
They have those big Ninja Turtle disguise jackets and the heaters.
Yeah. You can't see the half shell under that jacket. What about the poor person just sitting there in row XXX in section 655, freezing their ass off in that nipply weather, according to Zaslow?
Put it on the poll at Batard show, nippy or nipply. But you're right. I mean, the people paying for the privilege to be out in negative 20 degrees when they could be home while the player is being paid to do that does make it different. But Pablo, I was asking Dominique this the other day as we walked down the New York streets, and this is just 25, 30 degrees here in New York. I'm like, it has to hurt more to play football in this kind of cold. Would you not imagine that the bones and everything, physically, by science, that all of it hurts more? And he looks at me and he says, once you reach a certain level of pain, that's the amount of pain there is. And in football, the pain is ever present and everywhere. So there's no difference between playing it in negative 20 degrees and playing it in normal weather. But I would think it would be horrific to play football in negative 20 degrees.
I've learned that I should not try to relate to football players. They have opted into a sport premised on consensual concussions, Dan. The idea that Dominique was walking around like with cut off sleeves. He wasn't wearing a jacket. He was wearing like a vest over a hoodie. I find it hard to trump Dominique on the question of you guys are weak.
The pain threshold is something that I don't understand as we criticize certain football players for being soft. But
why is Mike looking like that?
Have you ever watched an NFC North broadcast? Everything hurts more in the cold. Yeah. And I've Googled this. It's actually backed by science. Your muscles are tighter. Your joints are stiffer. Everything hurts more in the cold. It just means more in the North division.
Put it on the poll, please, at Batard show. Does everything hurt more in the cold? You guys want to guess? Just guess how many teams when you talk about the Panthers, and I will get to Michigan in a second, and I will get to Notre Dame because I'm not letting Bevacqua go yet, no matter how poorly Michigan behaves. I've got to talk more about the Bevacqua thing. But I'm just going to throw this to the room. You guys want to guess in the Eastern Conference for the Florida Panthers how many teams are under 500 when you talk about where it is the Panthers are in the standings? Does anyone in there want to guess? Under 500 teams in the conference? Because I honestly didn't think that what I'm about to say was actually possible in any reasonable way. Guesses?
Yeah, we follow the sport a little bit down here. We're title town, and hard pressed to find one. I know Buffalo is pretty bad, but it's really hard.
Columbus is probably under 500. Right?
It's really hard to make the playoffs in that sport. Everyone appears to be pretty solid, and nothing is given in the NHL. How many teams?
This is crazy, though. There's one team, and it's two games under 500. There's one team in the entire conference. You're only playing teams that win more than they lose in the conference.
Oh, but you're talking about, you're not counting the overtime losses. You're just talking about regulation wins and losses, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, then just one. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, but the overtime wins and losses because somebody's got to be an overtime winner or loser, right? Like, I'm just talking about bad teams. Like the idea you're saying Buffalo's pretty bad, and okay, but they the conference is loaded, and the reason that the Panthers are struggling is not actually because they're struggling. Their record is fine. They just play in a sport and in a conference where that record's not fine enough to get into the playoffs. And then you got what's happening. I'm sorry, go ahead, Zaslow.
Yeah, it's a sport where if you get off to a slow start, which the Panthers have, it's really difficult to gain ground because of these overtime losses, because of the 3-point games. So, like, they find themselves in a spot where they have to dig out of a hole, and it's hard.
We've said for several years that this is a sport that, unlike some of the other majors, can certainly afford to expand. because there are so many good teams in this sport. There are very few embarrassments in that sport. It's not at all like the NBA. Teams don't tank. Everyone is in the mix for the playoffs, it would appear.
Tony, you gave away your hand when it is you said, wait a minute, that's not a real team. The Utah Mammoth is not a real team. So you're a vote for you would not have gotten correct the nickname of the Utah Mammoth. Amin, would you be honest here? Would you have known that the Utah team was known by the singular Mammoth?
Yes.
All right, penalize him for lying, please. Get him out of the room because he's suspicious, and somebody hit him with a penalty for lying. You're clearly lying. You did not know that the Utah team was the Mammoth.
Wait, so hold on. So you're just basically saying, I'm going to ask you a question, and I already think I know the answer. And if the answer doesn't jive, then clearly you're lying. You sound like...
Well, you look suspicious. No, but there's circumstantial evidence is that you looked all around the room, and you looked really suspicious when you said that.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes. Tremenda, cagaçon.
Ask me again.
Play on.
Ask me again, and I'll answer again. And let's see if I can do it less suspicious, I guess.
I mean, did you know that the name of the hockey team in Utah was the singular Mammoth?
Yes.
I don't think it's a singular mammoth. I think that's the plural of mammoth.
Put it on the poll at Batard Show. Is the plural of mammoth?
I would have thought the plural's mammi.
Well, they've only been the Mammoth for 32 games, so I guess Amin can get a reprieve.
Yeah, we would have accepted Utah Hockey Club.
Luckily for you, I knew it.
You make a ruling here. Is the plural? Get out of the room. I mean, is the plural of respect the penalties, please? Is the plural of mammoth?
Like deer, the plural of mammoth is mammoth.
Jeremy, do you have an official ruling from the internet?
Yeah, according to the club itself, mammoths is the plural. But the reason that they've used mammoth is to show one Utah, one hockey club, one mammoth.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I'm going to go with Pablo on this one. What is Utah?
I regret weighing in on this debate.
Did you know that the nickname of the Utah hockey team was the Mammoth? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I did not either. That is why I am asking the question, but I felt alone and insecure, and now that I have the company of other incompetents, I feel better falling into my misery and ignorance. Getting back to, and we will get to the Michigan story, as much of it as we can to, because I do think we need to be responsible about some of the details here, but it is fairly shocking to see a 39-year-old coach in a dream job fired, according to the university, sending out a statement for an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, and then hours later, he's in custody, and I'm assuming he's still in custody, and this has to be a special kind of misery to see everything fall apart for you. And again, there are other victims here other than Sharon Moore, allegedly, but there is a guy in prison who just had his dream job, or just threw away his dream job and allowed Michigan to get out from under that contract. Before I do that, because I want to better understand what has happened this week to Notre Dame, would you guys agree? Would there be any disagreement from Miami at all with the statement I'm about to make, which is, if what just happened to Notre Dame happened to the college team of anyone listening to this program, they would be as angry as Bevacqua is. If the same exact thing had happened where for a month as a made-for-television spectacle, you're in the playoff by ranking, you do nothing to lose that ranking by losing a football game. You do nothing but win your games the rest of the way. The hypothetical team of every single person listening to this show, everybody would be as mad as Bevacqua is, correct? Without a single dissension, that you'd get total consensus on that when you get no consensus on anything in sports. Yes, Jeremy?
I mean, it has happened to me. My team won every single game didn't get included in the ESPN CFP Invitational. And that was a result of never being included. There is a difference between what Notre Dame got, which is the tease. But my team, for 2 straight seasons, by the way, won every single game and never sniffed it. But Mike, I know, has a take on this.
Yeah, I was driven crazy by the mere specter of being screwed with head-to-head not mattering. I think the difference is, though, Pete Bevacqua has been very effective in changing the narrative. It's not because of mean tweets or re-airs that they're left out. And he has convinced a nation and that fan base that wanted a pound of flesh that is indeed the case. The reason that they are out is because of Greg Sankey's shadowy hand over the process, and he does not have the stones for that fight.
Definitely not because of my tweets. And also, Zaz, you know about that Spectre?
No, I'm going to learn, though.
Hey, folks, it's Mike Ryan. Happy holidays to you and to our tremendous partners of almost 20 years, Miller Lite. It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. It makes the holidays special. It makes the football games special. It makes family gatherings and friendship time extra special. I make all those times Miller time. And during the holidays, most of my favorite memories start the exact same way. I crack open a Miller Lite, take a look around at my friends and family, and think, yeah, this was the right call. Whether it's a late night hang after a holiday party or standing around a fire pit with the family, Miller Lite just fits. It's a taste you know you can depend on, and it's brewed for flavor with simple ingredients like malted barley, rich balanced toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. And at just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it lets you enjoy the season without weighing you down. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I'm trying to get ready for the holidays and wrapping my head around what I'm going to cook, and people keep asking me the same question. Roy, what are you gifting this year? What are you cooking? And honestly, I don't have time for all that. I just keep it simple. I go with Omaha Steaks. People, listen up. Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. You can send USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, and comfort meals that make you look thoughtful with minimum effort. Now that's my kind of gift. Right now, during the Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, plus an extra $35 off with promo code Dan. I've had Omaha Steaks plenty of times. I've cooked them. I've gifted them. People are always impressed. The steaks are aged perfectly, tender, and are full of flavor. It's holiday magic made easy. Orders placed by 6 p.m. Eastern ship the same day. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during the Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code DAN at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, code DAN.
You ever find yourself late night scrolling, adding stuff to your cart you absolutely don't need? And then you see it, the beautiful, glowing purple Shop Pay button. Boom! Checkout done. You didn't even have to get up and find your wallet. That, my friends, is Shopify magic. That little purple button means that store is powered by Shopify, which doesn't just make it easy to buy, but ridiculously easy to start and run your own business too. Whether you're a giant like Mattel or Gymshark or just launching something weird from your garage, like Greg Cody's garage, Shopify has your back. Let's be real, if we can run a show with this much chaos, you can run a business with Shopify. With hundreds of beautiful templates, tools for payments, inventory, analytics, marketing, it's all in one place. And yes, that purple button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Shopify, it's how real businesses get built. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Batard. Go to shopify.com/Batard. Shopify.com/Batard.
Don Le Batard.
Our Panther group chat, we're confident against the Lightning. This is a different team.
Yeah. You're a Panther group chat, though.
No, I think no, but dude, you're so wrong on that. We've been terrified of this team forever, and I think there's a different energy where the Panthers, they want the Lightning.
Stugotz. I want T-shirts made for this Panther run. What could be this Panther run? Our Panther group chat, we're not afraid of the Lightning.
That's a tagline for World War 3.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Jeremy, it didn't happen to you because part of this betrayal is the duping. You never thought Central Florida was going to be in the playoffs based on where it is that it was ranked by a committee for a month in a made-for-television spectacle.
That's right, but then the next season, when we went into the season, they said, well, surely that won't happen again. Sure, if you go undefeated a second straight year, maybe we'll include you. And then we did just that. So the first time around, we had to claim a national championship. And the second time, we were like, well, screw you guys. I guess we'll go lose by a touchdown to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson with our backup quarterback.
I could argue that what happened to Jeremy's Central Florida team is worse. But this did not happen, okay? Where you're watching for a month, your school win 9 games. You're watching a made-for-television special for a month in which you're always in the playoffs, and then you watch over the month a month of arguing of, hey, if Miami beat Notre Dame, shouldn't Miami be ahead of Notre Dame? And then you look up one day when you're watching the selection committee make its selection, and you're no longer in it. We're in agreement that there's not anybody out there who would say they weren't mad if that happened to their team. So my question after that is, and I asked this yesterday and I didn't get a satisfactory answer, how could Bevacqua have handled this better? Somebody tell me what is the correct way to advocate on behalf of your constituency when it feels this wrong and your job is to advocate on behalf of this constituency.
Look, this is politics, and I say that very simply because the question of what should Pete Bevacqua be doing is not how do you appeal to the largest possible audience of fans in America. It's how does he represent the people he has to be worried about, which are Notre Dame fans. I don't know how you do this well. I think the entire thing is a contest of who do you like less, and you will root against that entity. And Notre Dame is clearly the most unliked. And so Pete Bevacqua, Dan, I just think he was doing exactly what he's incentivized to do.
I think he has done it well, though. If I just take out the petty complaining about the ACC, if I just take that part out, I think his language is the right language to use on behalf of your fan base. Farce, punched in the stomach. Mike, you tell me, if Miami's athletic director had to get out in front of the public when everybody hates Miami the way that they hate Notre Dame and they would enjoy the tears of somebody whimpering in public, what is the language you would want used?
Well, Dan Radakovich did put out a letter, which I was happy to see. I honestly, while everything was happening, personally, I wish Dan Radakovich did more. I think Pete Bevacqua has done well to make his fan base happy as they are angry after the fact, but I think he got caught with his pants down here a little bit, Dan, because you should have seen this coming. You should have been campaigning. You should have been working the narrative. You have so many media partners. You have this huge platform with Notre Dame. You should have been getting the message out there. Alabama, we're better than them. Oklahoma, we're better than them. The debate should have been firmly from the Notre Dame side, Alabama versus Notre Dame headed into that SEC championship game, and then everybody would have been viewing that SEC championship game in which Alabama had -3 rushing yards through the prism of Alabama versus Notre Dame. Their whole plan was just, this is why they're upset about the tweets and the re-airs, was hoping they could get away with head-to-head not mattering and being upset that people are calling it into public light, Zaz.
Well, is all of their fan base happy with the way Bevacqua is handling this whole thing? Because you would assume, just from the outside looking in, you would assume that everyone would understand, an unbiased fan here would understand why Notre Dame is unhappy, yet somehow Notre Dame, who seemingly got screwed, everyone is dunking on them now, and everyone seemingly hates them even more than we thought that they did, based on the things that Bevacqua is talking about. So, is he actually doing a good job?
This is the part that's weird to me, Zaz. If you believe in the idea of confirmation bias, okay, all that anyone is waiting for is anyone from Notre Dame to say anything so that they can simply reverse the entirety of their opinion and be like, oh, they were wrong, goes to, no, they're wrong for complaining about being wrong. I have not seen, I'm not kidding you when I say I just haven't seen a lot of things like this happen, where I'm on the front end and I am seeing that Notre Dame is wronged. Their athletic director comes out and does what you have to do, which is complain that you've been wronged. And as soon as he does that, everyone says, no, you're wrong for complaining about being wrong, even though we too would be complaining about being wronged. Any single person who's a fan who has complained about the officiating after a game, if you've complained about the officiating after any game that you've lost, This is something, this right here, what just happened, you think you have a team that's good enough to win the national championship, and you're being denied the right to play for that game. It's just not something I've seen a whole lot of, and I believe it's just because people were looking for an excuse to dunk on Notre Dame. They do it to Miami, and I think maybe Alabama, and I think those are the three programs. I don't think this happens to Ohio State. I don't think it happens to Michigan. I think there's plenty of hate, but I don't think the nation at large laughs at someone being wrong this way unless it's only three schools. Is there a fourth? Do you guys have a fourth school that you would say that you could imagine a scenario where this happens, where someone who is articulating something and is right in articulating it is just wrong because of who he is and what he represents? And now this person, we only know his name because of this. Zaslow is sitting here enjoying this joyride, this amusement park of Bevacqua, only to make fun of him. So this person exists and is defined by he's a whimpering coward.
The contrast, though, and the reason why I respect Bevacqua is because this has been a college football month in which Lane Kiffin leaves for LSU because he doesn't care about the playoff, right? Like, he's like, there's a bigger game here. This sport is about something bigger, actually, than the wins on the field. And Bevacqua is acting as to your point, as I think every college football fan would want their program to act, which is to be, again, I get it, truly insufferable in defense of their honor. Like, you have to pick a fight. You can't be trampled on. Like, that's the whole thing. The playoff matters that much.
The writing of a letter, he can't stay quiet, right? That's not one of the choices. Your choices are fairly absolute here. Your choice is to make a loud complaint. It's not simply to send out a statement that has some grace in it, right? That wins him nothing with his constituency. Saying, oh, it's okay. Like the pulling of the bowl game, the taking your ball and going home, I suppose that's something that didn't have to be done if you don't want people to react poorly to you. But I just don't think you can do this quietly if you're him. I think, do you think Bevacqua's sitting here thinking he made any mistakes here? Do you guys believe, as you see what's happening here, do you think Bevacqua goes home to his family and says, I erred here?
The question is persuadable voters. Notre Dame doesn't have a lot of those. There are not a lot of people who are like, you know what, I was on the fence about Notre Dame, but Bevacqua's elegance and dignity in defending their college football position, that changed my mind. No, there's nothing he could have done, as far as I can tell, that would have resulted in anything different other than being as, again, and I get it, being as loud and indignant as possible about someone questioning whether they deserved this.
I think he could have been proactive instead of reactionary. I do think that stuff matters. Ultimately, you're talking about 13 human beings that are under pressure, listening to every criticism. And I think when it came to Miami versus Notre Dame and the head-to-head thing, the volume on that stuff mattered to me.
You guys aren't asking the right questions right now. The right question was asked in the chat, actually. Shout out to the YouTube chat. Is this Pablo's first time wearing a hoodie? Yeah. Because he's got the drawstrings tied up like it is when it first ships to you. No one ever has their drawstrings like that. Take one shot.
Never seen a guy tie his drawstrings.
Look at that. Who does that?
He's a gift to journalism. He has wrapped himself in a bow.
And a fraud.
And this is also advertising today with Method Man on Pablo Torre finds out.
Whoa!
Wait a
minute. Oh, so he was clearly just given this.
No. So it is a brand new hoodie.
No,
it isn't.
Mike.
Yep.
Mike.
Yes, we were at.
Where did I get this?
It was April 20th. I can remember that much. And it was at a RZA concert, and it was pre-COVID.
Jeremy, why are you comfortable calling Pablo a fraud? And he was so involved in his self-involvement that he didn't even hear the accusation of you calling him.
I'm fighting lots of different wars right now, Dan. Jordan Hudson's threatening to sue me. Nick Wright is litigating his own reporting with me as I continue to litigate it with him on Twitter as we speak. Phil Mickelson threatened to send us a legal letter. Steve Ballmer, obviously, is somebody who is actively trying to make sure that the NBA's investigation is not proceeding, in my view, into my work with the level of rigor that it deserves. The Chinese government, we investigated. The House Oversight Committee's investigating, frankly, a company that was started to steal the brainwaves from athletes. The NBA has another investigation into the gambling stuff related to Malik Beasley that we're responsible for.
Roy, isolate that hiccup of sound so that we can embarrass Pablo with it and how professional communicators stumbled through all of that. But Jeremy, answer my accusation. Why are you calling him publicly a fraud and he's fighting so many wars that he doesn't even hear the accusation?
Because he's clearly never worn that hoodie before.
Yes, he has.
You've never worn that hoodie if you're now tying it. And if you are, what a crazy decision to tie that ribbon up.
Ryan again to the witness stand.
That hoodie is at least 7 years old.
Yeah,
That's not the question.
That's not the question.
He's worn it
You
before.
can see him buy it.
Yeah, I saw him purchase the hoodie.
Did you see him then wear the hoodie on a separate occasion outside of that first time that he wore it, and were the drawstrings still tied when he wore it?
Why do you not believe us?
Why are you not answering the question? I feel like you're avoiding the question.
Well, I'm not answering the question because you're not allowing me the opportunity to.
This is not a pulpit, sir. You are going to answer the question and only the question.
I have seen him out a handful of times since he purchased the hoodie and been like, hey, that's a hoodie we bought at that 420 thing.
And were the drawstrings tried?
That's a new development.
Okay.
When I think about the holidays, I think about the little moments with my dog, Roma. The ones that make the season feel special. Put little elf ears on her. You know the deal. Take some selfies, post it for people that probably seen it too much. I love my dog. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I'm joining Chewy Claus, who's out here making pets' wishes come true. From November 4th through December 24th, you can share your pet's wish at chewy.com/ChewyClaus. It might come true. And it helps others too. Every wish triggers a donation of 5 meals to shelters and rescues across the country. And if you share your pet's wish through the Chewy app, they'll double that donation. That's 10 meals for pets in need just for participating. I've been using Chewy for years, legitimately. They've made my life easier for me and my dog Roma. Food, toys, meds, all of it shows up fast, no stress. And being part of something like Chewy Claus, where a small thing like a wish can make a real impact, that's the kind of stuff I care about. Every pet deserves a wish come true. Send your pet's wish to chewy.com/ChewyClaus. It might become a reality. Plus, your wish means Chewy will donate 5 meals to pets in need.
Holidays, fun. Holidays as a dad, tough. Travel, gifts, matching pajamas. Don't get me started on matching pajamas. It's hot in Miami. My wife says, why don't you want to do this with us? My daughter's crying. Anyways, school parties, hosting a family. Next thing I know, I basically put Christmas on my credit card and have no idea what I spent where. If you want to keep your finances under control this holiday season, you need to be using Monarch. Rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app at 25, Monarch's the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. Right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year, a massive deal. Monarch showed me how fast a holiday budget was disappearing. Flights, gifts, late-night online shopping, and helped me pump the brakes before the bill hit. Now my wife and I do quick money check-ins, look at our holiday spending category, and actually enjoy the holidays without starting January and the new year in panic. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DAN at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DAN. And don't give me those matching pajamas, I swear. One touchdown can change everything. The crowd, the momentum, the entire game. It never gets old. Feel the same rush with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And Missouri listeners, listen up. The Show Me State, baby. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN, D-A-N. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Dan Le Batard.
Pablo leads all of podcasting in reading while smiling. If you listen to ESPN Daily, he sounds like he's having the time of his life.
Stugotz.
Coming up next, I'm going to tell you how the Savannah Bananas are changing
How do you know I'm
Savannah Bananas.
How do you know I'm smiling?
That's how I find my vocal range. Sometimes I just say Savannah Bananas. Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I am honestly surprised by the restraint that Pablo just showed in talking about some of this. He's a star bleeper and a name dropper, but he left out what I thought was the most interesting detail that links both the Method Man episode that he's talking about on Pablo Torre Finds Out and that hoodie. And I'm just surprised he didn't share it just before I share it. Is it because you don't want to spoil the end of the episode? Because I really thought you'd brag about what Method Man did for you toward the end of that podcast interview, because I couldn't believe that I got to sit in the middle of that. And I think Mike Ryan, at least I think Mike Ryan would be jealous of what Method Man did for us. But Pablo, what are you willing to reveal here?
I am processing a lesson from yesterday's show in which it turned out that me being the guy who finds out stuff, if I talk about it too much, becomes really unlikable. And so I'm hoping that other people talk about the stuff that I found out for me. Because again, many different fronts, many different wars. But did I get to listen to the secret Wu-Tang album?
I knew it.
Method Man's
I knew it.
You did?
I was telling people back here. It's like, it has to be the Scarelli vinyl.
All right.
He's got access to the Scarelli vinyl.
Was it good?
We're in Shkreli mode.
So if you don't know who Scarelli is, he's the most hated of the pharma bros who jacked up and gouged people with medical prices on medicine because he had access to it and no one else did. And then with that, he spent how many millions of dollars to buy the single copy of this Wu-Tang album that no one has heard?
Multiple millions. I believe it's around $2 million.
Okay. And it is.
It's one of the craziest things that's ever happened. And Method Man's perspective as a guy, again, and Method Man, Dan and Method Man, just to be clear, like, are disturbingly intimate friends. And one of the things that I think that you guys in the Shipping Container and the Wu-Tang Clan have in common is that there are a zillion of you, and how to manage the artistic integrity of everyone is hard. And so Method Man was asked, apparently, will you submit a couple of tracks, just like rap over these beats without knowing anything about the project? Submitted it to RZA, and he learned later that this was all in the service of a Wu-Tang double album, One of One, that got auctioned off for multiple millions of dollars and was bought by a guy sentenced to, I believe, various fraud charges successfully by the U.S. government years later, and then realized, I might have done this differently. And yet he does have the tracks on his phone.
What is happening with the war you are presently fighting with Nick Wright that has made you realize that you came off as unlikable yesterday?
We need an update.
I don't know. The thing that I'm struggling with is I love argument, debate, sports television. I've worked at ESPN for 13 years. PTI, Tony and Mike, both are the foremost examples of people who left journalism who do that stuff. And so I want to be very respectful when I say that I think journalism in sports is basically going extinct. I worked at two places, Dan, that are now either dead or zombified. Sports Illustrated and ESPN the magazine. Real sports at HBO is dead. HBO Sports fundamentally is basically dead. And the reason why is because truth is a bad business. Because it is a lot more fun and a lot easier, despite how good, by the way, how genuinely awesome Nick is at arguing about sports. And he is. And Tony and Mike are the greatest, in my opinion. And Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and that's that tree we all know. The thing that I struggle with is how to explain to people why journalism is both good business and also a lot harder than you think, such that the people who chose to do the easier thing can't simply say, I could do that if I wanted to. Because it's not merely that you're not, it's that maybe you should. Just from a perspective of, like, what do we need more of?
Well, when you say, though, unlikable, and I throw this to the group here because I have found that over the course of the last 20 years of changing how it is that I behave within the construct of this, while also obviously respecting not just sports journalism, but journalism, it is a losing fight optically on whether or not you're going to be likable, not unlike what's happening with Notre Dame. If the starting point is I'm putting in front of the American people the job title of journalist, the starting point of that conversation is I don't like that person. I don't like what that person does. I don't value what it is that journalism is. I don't technically understand understand or care about what journalism is the way that people are practicing it is. So if I went around the country right now and I just said to somebody, most unpopular professions, I think I'm getting journalist with lawyer and used car salesman and whatever is the distrusted form of I don't know anything about that person and I don't like them already because what they do for a living is journalism. That's not because I grew up in a bubble of journalists growing up. I never realized this until legitimately. I didn't realize how bad it was until a moron wins the presidency running on a platform of those guys are phony.
I mean, my basic take here is that there's never been a bigger gap between what rich and powerful people want you to know and what they actually are doing. And in sports, that's especially true. Like there's a huge, everybody knows this. And by the way, I get it. It is risky. And I reference tongue-in-cheekly all of the lawsuits that are threatened against my show. And I can tell you, Dan, that God bless our single lawyer because there is a real actual cost potentially to that. It's not worth it.
I know,
for people.
Pablo, I know the cost.
But you know that because this show is one of the things you chose to fund. And no one else is doing that. And so the question of like, why did this bit in which I apparently hate Nick, even though I actually don't, and I really respect him, but then he says things that actually make me just like my back sit up straight. It's because there's an insult to injury dynamic of like the choice of I'm not going to do journalism has been made by everybody but a small handful of people because it is hard and expensive and it's hard to make a business. And my whole point, by the way, the reason why Method Man is on my show and why I do like taste testing athlete weed and why I interviewed a witch and why we do things that are absurd is because I want to show like journalism is also fun. Like I love it. I love it in a way that I don't think I did 5 years ago. But now I just realize how much riskier and harder it is to do this in a way that, by the way, is beyond my capacity. I'm not the best journalist out there. Read Julie K. Brown of the Miami Herald, who like actually stopped Jeffrey Epstein. Read Don Van Natta at ESPN, formerly of the New York Times. Read all of these people. And so the reason my back is up about this is just because it's not about Nick. It's about the dismissiveness that people have around, oh, if we wanted to, we could. And I'm like, I wish you would do that. And I also don't think you can.
Dan, I have a theory I'd like to float by you. I was thinking about Pablo. Why is Pablo so hated? And then I thought about Nick, and well, people hate Nick Wright too. And then I thought about you, and like, people hate you too. And I thought about Stephen A. I thought about all the other voices in the media that people hate. And I realized that one common denominator. You guys all have annoying voices. Yeah. Wow. Everyone, Pablo's is tinny. Exactly. Dan's is whiny. Stephen A. is too boisterous.
Hard to deny with that clip.
Is there someone out there in the media who has, look, Ernie Johnson. Everyone loves Ernie Johnson. Why? His voice is normal. No one thinks of it as annoying. But all the rest of you guys have really, really annoying voices.
That's why people love me.
Skip has an annoying voice. Zaz has an annoying
Jeremy.
voice.
Yeah, Jeremy's back. My voice is fine on me. Thank you.
There you go. No one hates Roy.
No one does.
No one hates Roy.
Off, man.
Play that sound, please, play that sound again of Pablo stumbling his way through communication as a professional Harvard debater.
That's what my brain is like lately, by the way.
That doesn't have any editing in it. That is clean, and that is exactly how it came out of his face.
I sometimes don't realize that I'm accidentally scatting.
That's not... Yeah.
I mean, the bip bop sounded like it was almost musical.
I'm going to object to what it is that Amin is saying because I think annoying is second on the list of why it is all of those people, including myself, are hated. The next step on it is self-righteous, though. Like what Pablo is articulating here that in his annoying voice, what he's articulating is the frustration of caring about something that other people don't care about, caring deeply about something that other people don't care about. And then the next step is on it, he's offended by the fact that not only do they not care about it, they think they understand what it takes to do it, and they don't. And because they don't care about it.
But Dan, here's the part. Like Dan Patrick, I would say, if you really listen to him, kind of self-righteous too. Especially when he talks about his exploits as a basketball player when he was young or whatever. But Dan Patrick, not an annoying voice. Everyone loves his voice.
Yeah.
Rich Eisen, a little self-righteous too, especially when he's got his Hollywood friends in the studio. Rich Eisen, not an annoying voice. You guys have annoying voices. If you had better voices, people would be more willing to tolerate your self-righteousness.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I don't think that Dan Patrick gives off a lot of self-righteous. He's not much of a strident opinion maker. Okay, apparently Amin does. But I'm going to share something that's uncomfortable to share, because I've made plans with Dan Patrick while he's in town here, and what he does, because he knows the power of that voice, and he also knows how annoying my voice is, what he does purposely, and no other man in my life does this. No other man in my life is allowed to do this. When he's on speakerphone, what you get in the most syrupy of sounds is, "Hello, Valerie." And he does it on purpose, and it's offensive. Like, he absolutely knows his voice is better than mine, and so he comes off as, I'm the better Dan, and he gets a little close to my wife with that voice, and I don't like it. And I've told him I don't like it, and he keeps doing it. It is disrespectful, but it's done in such a good voice that I have to abide the disrespect. I can't do anything about it, because all I do is sound like Bevacqua in an annoying voice when I complain about it. And it makes me less likable to my wife that I'm like, Dan, that's like, stop. And he's just like, he just keeps doing it. It's like, "Hello, Valerie." And he's just got a better voice than me. And I feel small.
You'd be hosting Jeopardy.
Laughing at me.
You'd be hosting Jeopardy if your voice wasn't like it is right now.
Look at them laughing at me. I feel like Andrew Schultz's co-host here, who's being dragged by the internet. The way these guys are
we're not gonna. We're not gonna do that to Akash, man.
We're not.
No,
the internet's not gonna do that.
The internet can do whatever, but we're not gonna do that here. I
just made the comparison. I made the comparison. I see Jeremy's face. Do you know how
Mike Yastrzemski has signed a 2-year contract with the Atlanta Braves.
He works hard.
It's a good player. Yastrzemski's grandkid.
He's a hard worker. What?
No, that is not nepotism. That's not
Toolsy.
grandpa nepotism that Yastrzemski is signed to a 2-year deal by the Braves because his name is Yastrzemski. That's not what's happening there. I have to get to the Cyclones because you guys have a giant match on Friday. It's tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of people there, right? You guys are going to get we need everybody's support on this. We need Greg Cody to bring out a crowd. Mike, what are you guys doing on Friday? It's a normal time. It's open to the public. You got into the final. In a matinee game that was closed to the public. How are we going to get people out there for you tomorrow?
I
need your support.
This one is very much open to the public. It is free to attend. It's going to be a great time at the Magic City Casino, the Fronton there. It's Cyclones. It's Devils.
Wow.
Amazing drinks. A great crowd. We are bringing the Clone Cartel out in full force. Yeah. It is going to be a circus. We have a lot of tricks up our sleeve. You're going to want to be there for this electric environment, and hopefully we can bring this home. Yeah. We can raise another banner. Yeah. We can win our second championship. We are favored to do so. Go Clones!
I need your support.